Dr. Marko, what about the principle making vaccines?
Like oil on the fire. For the young colleagues, I think that is a great opportunity for them because that is the growing part of veterinary business. Period, if you have diseases and you apply the vaccine, that is totally wrong.
With the name of Allah, in another broadcast, we have two new guests. The first one is Dr. Marko, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. From the first, can you introduce yourself?
I must say it's really a pleasure for me and my colleagues and the company to join here and to be here. This is our second time when we coming back. That means that we are coming back to Erbil again because of our excellent cooperation with the DMA group and of course to spreading our joint business, and of course we wanted to get the full feedback from your country for your field and of course experience with our using our products.
In this broadcast, we want to take some advices about your experience. What made you to choosing veterinary medicine after graduating in the 12th grade?
Before myself and my introducing with myself and my experience, I must say that the company presented here, it's Veterinarski Zavod Subotica. That means that company started with the producing of a vaccine for animal health. The very important thing is that the company established more than 100 years ago to prepare the vaccine for the animal health, and during all this period, must say, improve from our business to find the best solution for the cure and especially to preventing some diseases, for serious diseases in a field of animal health. I worked more than 30 years in vaccine production. When I graduated and finished my graduation and education in the veterinary medicine, I started in the field of the immunology, general vaccine producing for animal health.
While you studied in the college, was your target immunology, or by the chance you choose and improve it yourself?
I'm sure that a lot of people, especially here in maybe because maybe it's similar situation in Iraq as in Serbia, that we started with the veterinary knowledge without any idea to be one part of the future vaccine producer or some expert in vaccine production. Absolutely. And that was the situation with me. When I graduated, I get the offer to start career in vaccine production. It was for me, it's very, in that moment, very strange, of course, but at the same time, very challenging. Now, today, in our education, in our Faculty of Medicine, we have opportunity for the last 2 years of education to have some kind of specialization in the immunology and the vaccine production. On the other hand, that is the main opportunity because the cooperation of Veterinarski Zavod Subotica as one producer of vaccine, we have the cooperation with the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine, and that means that all students who wants to go on that education, they can use this opportunity and have some knowledge and some exercise and workshops in our company to learn about the vaccine production, about the immunology and that field of veterinary business.
Dr. Marko, many of the veterinarian, after graduation in the college, they choose the practical life and working on the field. What pushed you leave this field and going to work on the vaccine lab? Because working with the vaccine, it's another life, it's another field.
Yes, I must say it's completely different field of veterinary business. What is possible to do and what we are learning during our education on the studies during the study the Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. For me, I really think and I appreciate that I have possibility to start in that field, and especially because my job in a veterinary zavod was the first one, and we started in the field of that. After that, I finished the PhD graduation and everything related to the vaccine production and the field of immunology. For the young colleagues, I think that is a great opportunity for them, because that is the growing part of veterinary business, because it's not only important thing regarding the prevention of diseases. This is something, when you're talking about the veterinary business, it's something about trying to eradicate or stop zoonotic diseases, especially the diseases which is the huge potential, zoonotic potential.
This is avian influenza.
For example, avian influenza, for example, rabies disease. The lot of common diseases, zoonotic diseases in the animals and the humans, it's very important for us, and that is the main point for the veterinarians. And when there's starting to realize their education, when they thinking about the veterinary business, they thinking about the clinical business. But I'm sure that the future educators, they present young students about the possibility of huge possibility of the veterinary jobs and works, especially in this field. I must say, this wonderful field for the veterinarians.
As we know, there is a difference between academic studying in the immunology, like producing vaccines and like that, and the other part using in the farm, because the thinking of the farmer is totally different than your thinking. So what is the link, and how can we solve this problem? Because they think in another idea.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was one of our postgraduate tasks.
Yes.
Because, for example, during the other education and academic immunology part, it's a basis, and that is most important thing for every veterinarian. But the other thing, when we started to work, it's very important to understand the needs from the farmers. They want the fast solutions. They want to be sure about their business to be secured, especially related for the preventing of diseases. That means they need education from our side, how it be achieve that, and from other hand, most important thing is to give them the right solutions for their needs. And that means that isn't, I must say, that isn't easy. First of all, because the breeders, the farmers, they don't like our stories, especially because they only focused on their business and how to cure that and or secure them. That means that we will need to make compilation of our knowledge and their needs.
What about weakness of the disease? Sometimes I hear in the farmer, they say, while I vaccinate my animal, they cause, for example, FMD, foot mouth disease. He say, I vaccinated my animal, my flock, and I see they cause the disease. The disease spread from my field, but not very strong.
That is the matter of, that is our task, to connecting with them, to try to not only educate them. The education is a part of us,
yes,
but to try to explain them that part of vaccination is not a magic thing, that is real thing, and especially for a lot of diseases, which the cause of the disease is with a lot of different serotypes. That means that with the one vaccination, it's maybe not finished everything what we wanted to protect those animals, but that is the major point, that it needs to be explained to the breeders and to farmers how can we want it to prevent that. When we started with one serotype, of course, the most important thing is in the general veterinary service is to try to monitor of persistence of the different kind of serotypes on that field. That means that the next step, when we wanted to prevent with the vaccination some diseases, we must know what kind of serotypes is present on that part of the country or everything, because it's not useful to put the same vaccine for the huge regions, because in the future we will do that on very specific level. That means that we will first of all must know what kind of serotypes is cause of disease, and after that to start with the prevention of that. That is the sense of the eradication of some diseases, and that is our main goal if we wanted to fight some diseases. For some it's not possible, of course, but it's possible to take care about the presence of some diseases on way that we preventing vaccination during the vaccination program. That means that is a very important the program of vaccination. When we're talking about, for example, in poultry industry, it's a very short period, for example, for some categories of animals, broilers, for example. In that short period of breeding them, we need to secure that animals will be alive and health and alive.
Yes.
And that means we need to apply the correct program of vaccination.
Sure.
Yeah.
The smallest mistake.
Absolutely. It causes disaster sometimes.
Disaster.
And who will be the main guilty veterinarians? Because we don't do our job well if we have the program of vaccination and preventing some diseases, and then the disease is not cure or preventing. Especially, and that is the important to work as a synergy between the breeders and the veterinarians.
Right.
In applying the vaccine, it's the most important thing to be sure that the vaccination is do on the right way, in the time and in a correct, appropriate way, what is prescription described regarding the same vaccine.
What about if they know there's the same disease but different serotype, but they vaccinated? It's the same disease but weakness, and the animal causes this disease but in another serotype. Isn't wrong to vaccinate it in this time?
In the period, if you have diseases and you apply the vaccine, that is totally wrong.
Totally wrong.
Absolutely, that is like oil on the fire. And in the moment when, especially in this is not an individual approach. We need to have the approach to the whole flock or animals what you have on the farm. That means that one animal, if one ill animal make a problem in a whole flock, you need to exclude them and then to vaccinate the healthy animal. That is
damage the immunity.
Absolutely, because if you don't have the correct animal, correct for the immunology answer animal, that means the animal must be healthy to give the adequate immune response, and then the vaccination process is full, and that is the purpose, and that is the main idea what we wanted to succeed.
Dr. Marko, what about the principle making vaccines? In a short brief, to giving a general idea, to be clear from these people to want to improve themselves in the making of the vaccines, the principle.
Yeah, in general, producing a vaccine, it's very, very interesting job, and I suggest to every veterinarian that if it's possible during his study to introduce shortly about that kind of profession for the veterinarian. I think that it's a really nice part of their careers, professional career. Regarding the vaccine production, I must say that our country, we have a long tradition in vaccine production, especially in animal. Generally, you have the two main category, that means live or inactivated vaccine. Yes. The second thing is about what is the material for the growing the viral vaccine production. That depends, and that is the main difference. In a bacterial vaccine production today, we have a lot of other new technology platforms. One of them is developing in our company, but when we're talking about the basic one, it is in a culture media for the growing the bacteria, the main bacteria, and from the viral vaccine technology, the main is producing on the tissue culture and
in the tissue culture.
Yeah, and embryonated eggs. The most poultry vaccine are produced on the embryonated eggs, and the different kind of vaccines, it means that what kind of form there are, liquid, or we have some vaccine in the freeze-dry form,
right.
And that is very practical for using and end users, especially for the transport of the vaccine. You know that the transport of vaccine must be temperature monitoring, and that means that some vaccine, for example, in a corona crisis, you know that some producers, they don't have, for example, freeze-dry vaccine, and that part of logistic for transport of vaccine, it's very, very difficult because some viral vaccine forms needs to be transported on the minus 20 and more degrees,
right.
And that is very logistic, very difficult. For example,
transportation.
Absolutely. For example, especially for the vaccine, for the veterinarian practice, when you need to go to the field in a temperature, yes, environmental temperature 30-40 degrees, it's very tough task.
Especially in Kurdistan and Iraq, it's very hot.
Yeah, we know that now we are in a period where it is not too hot, but we know that sometimes here is very, very hot.
Especially in the summer. And
yes. In generally, that is shortly about the vaccine technologies and production, but the main categories, as I mentioned, is the live and the inactivated vaccines and the form of way of producing.
How to see role of the improving vaccine producing? Is it in improving or not? Because as we know, the transportation and economic transportation of the animals in entire of the world isn't made producing vaccine harder than the before?
Yes. For us, maybe it's not easy to say, but we have a lot of experience to say about the last period and the previous period, because our company, as I mentioned, that we have more than 100 years experience of production of vaccine. Today, I must say that we have the new platform technology for the molecular vaccine, and that kind of producing is maybe future for some diseases where we want to produce in a short period a huge quantity of the vaccine. But for those established technology for the production, some especially zoonotic diseases, I think that it's not be changed very soon. That means that applying of the vaccine will be in the future, it will be one of our main goals in the future.
Okay, Dr.Marko, what's your advice for us as a student of the veterinary medicine, specifically in Kurdistan, and what's your advice for us? Thank you.
First of all, it's excellent choice when you decided to start with the education of the veterinary field. And second thing, when you graduate, first of all, thinking about your continuous education, because it will be necessary to be satisfied in the future with your career and your professional. At the end, if you choose this part of the immunology, of the vaccine production, I'm sure that you will be on the right way, and your choice will be excellent, especially from someone who dedicated his professional career to the vaccine business and the vaccine production. And for me, it's really pleasure to have a possibility to talk with you, and if it's possible, of course, in the future, if you have any not only question, but some kind of suggestion about this field of veterinary business related to the vaccine production, immunology, I think, and my door is always open to contact me.
Thank you. I appreciate you to be here. I'm so glad to taking about your experience for my life and the audience. And thank you so much. Hope the audience will benefit from this broadcast. And till the another broadcast. Bye.